Everyone, welcome to the White Hatter Live Show. I'm Brandon.
I'm Darren. I'm just watching a lot of the memorials over Mr. Brian.
Yeah, we just got the news during our Instagram Live.
Yeah, Kobe's passed as a result of a helicopter crash. It looks like maybe with his daughter as well. Pretty sad, right? Pretty sad. But on a lighter note, we're here today to talk about the past week.
Yeah.
And what's happening in the digital world, right?
Let's talk about some updates of what's new with the White Hatter.
Let's do that.
So,
what were we up to this past week?
This week I was in Fort Langley at the elementary school. And White Hatter Cal.
Did you see the fort?
I did not see the fort.
Okay, just checking.
Cal, the other member of our team, was doing his leveraging program at Sequim.
Yeah, he was at Sequim.
Secondary.
It's funny, the same school by the same name in Washington State, and they say Sequim. Huh. Yeah, in Vancouver, Sequim, Vancouver, or down in Washington, Sequim. Yeah.
You were at Queen Margaret's.
I was at Queen Margaret's, and that young man right there, he made me a mug. Look at this mug. And big shout out to Instagram follower at JDJJ1212. Apparently he's in our chat.
He's in the chat.
He's in the chat right now.
Shout out to you.
Thank you
so much.
Look at this. Look at this. Look, he's got even his IG on the back of there. It was his way. It was his way to say thank you to us. And he's actually starting up his own business.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Entrepreneur, he's grade 7. Entrepreneur, he's starting up his own business where he's going to be making and designing mugs like this and other things. So a big shout out to, again, here's a shout out, Instagram at JDJJ1212. Check him out. Check him out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the mug.
Life of Potterhead, get Disney Plus, Brandon, for Candace. Oh my God.
We were talking about that in the Instagram live chat.
I think Candace is setting you up here.
I think so.
She is controlling the chat, so she's chatting behind the scenes.
I can see all the chat.
Oh yeah, I know you can now.
Yeah.
We got
hey
Candace, we now can see your chat in front of us now. We can see what you're up to. Yeah, really good time at Queen Margaret's, QMSS. Looks like they're going to be bringing us back to do some other presentations as well, yeah.
And then we did a virtual here in our studio where you connected. And we did a virtual live with
Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert Senior Secondary. We did their leadership class, which were grade 8s to 12s. There was about 35 of them in the room. And what's really cool is they designed this new multimedia room that you see on the left-hand side of your screen there. Yeah. And it's really, really, really cool and it's specifically designed for distance learning. I mean, Prince Rupert, a little bit more isolated to get to here in the province of British Columbia. You can still get there, but it takes a little while to get there. So, one of the things that they've decided to do is bring learning to the school from experts such as yourself and others, and this is a really good way to do it. And it went over very, very well. Right? Yeah. This is not the first time. You've done a couple of digitals as well, right?
Yeah.
Virtuals.
A lot
You've
of fun.
done a couple of virtuals, and they've been really fun so far, right? Yeah.
I see Candace in the chat just went, what time is it in LA, Brandon?
Oh, God, Candace.
Thank you for that.
What time is it in LA?
It is 1:03.
There you go. 1:03
Same time as
in
here.
LA. Yeah, for
I
sure.
learned it the hard way.
What else we got going on?
I did a special presentation to the Victoria Real Estate Board this week, helping realtors stay safe digitally, mobile with their devices, so they don't get hacked or targeted by
gotta fix my scarf here.
unsavory people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Hey, and didn't they have like a trade show or something?
They had a trade show, and I was like, so I had some time between my session, and I was like, I'm gonna walk around the trade show, see what's there, and I came across this. This is different technology used for surveying and.
Are you on a scooter there, or what?
No, no. So the giant lawnmower looking like thing.
Yeah.
That is an underground sensor that scans for metals underground.
Okay.
It looks for like oil barrels.
Okay. Oral barrels?
Oil barrels.
What the hell was that?
Barrels.
You mean oil barrels?
Yeah.
Or oil tanks and stuff, right?
Oil tanks.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why would they have that at a realtors conference?
Well, I mean, it's real estate, right? It's all real estate.
Oh, I guess if you're buying land, before you buy land, you want to make sure that there's no oil. Oral barrels, like you said, or oil tanks on the property,
and
right?
the little wand doohickey is
that orange thing or that yellow thing that's in your hand?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Harry Potter thing or something.
No. It's an underground. It scans for electrical wires. So before you dig, make sure there's no wires underneath.
Well, it's kind of like if you make sure there's no gas either, right?
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, pretty
Anyways,
cool.
I checked.
Can you use it to search for like other precious metals like gold and silver?
Unless I asked. I was like, can you use it to scan for gold? Like you have the rights to anyways. But basically, just don't tell anyone. Basically, if it's this big, you can pick it up. But anything smaller, no.
Oh, all right.
So, I mean.
So if you're using that and hunting gold and you get a hit, you know you got a good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Anyways,
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Kind of fun.
Tech. And didn't you say there was somebody else there demonstrating this suit that we won't ruin it, but they've said that, yeah, we can come and do something?
There's a lot of cool tech we might feature later on the YouTube channel.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Let's talk about the news.
Oh, here we go.
First on the news
Are we going to talk about the coronavirus?
No,
okay.
That's not tech.
Yeah, you're right. It's not tech.
Not really tech.
No.
I mean, if they come up with a tech solution.
Well, I think they've already figured out a potential anecdote or to get a vaccination for it and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if the anti-vaxxers go with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we got this is came in the news.
Oh.
Apple apparently had dropped plans for encryption backups for their cloud backup and iPhone backup. Potentially, as reported, because of concerns from U.S. law enforcement and having access.
You know what, though? That might be a good middle ground between giving access to the encryption of the device versus gaining access into a person's cloud by way of warrant.
Certainly, privacy and security advocates have kind of not been happy about this.
Of course they haven't.
And people are saying, if you have sensitive things in your device, you should probably not do online backups. Which makes sense as a general safety security practice. If you have some critical sensitive information you want no one else to see, don't use cloud backup.
Okay, makes sense.
So
I'm just promoting the student here. There's his Instagram account right there, right? So,
on the same side of Apple mobile device security and encryption, we got some interesting reports.
The gray key.
FBI unlocking iPhone 11 Pro Max using Gray Key, which is a proprietary custom piece of software that allows law enforcement to kind of break into Apple devices.
I've been aware of this for the past couple of years, actually. This is one of a couple that are available to law enforcement. I mean, again, it's constantly a cat and mouse game. You know, Gray Box comes out with a decryption process, and then all of a sudden Apple fixes it, and then all of a sudden they find it. It's a constantly cat and mouse game, right? But again, for departments that are using it, it's this big box. It's not cheap, but I mean, it again is truly anything private. Yeah, maybe not, right? So
maybe.
Things to think about.
Again, it's just interesting going to the argument when people talk about how iPhones are the most secure, no one can break into iPhones.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there is ways.
Yeah, I know that people who are using Gray Key, the only time that they'll ever do it is by way of warrant, right? So you need to have a warrant in order to do it, because if you go into the device in Canada anyways, and you don't have a warrant, anything you find is not going to be able to use in court.
Yeah.
Right? So things to think about. Yeah. But again, I mean, these are tools that give law enforcement the ability, I guess others too, if the company sells it to more nefarious customers, but I don't think they do. But you know, anything positive can always be used as a negative, right? So yeah. What else?
This made waves in the news earlier. So apparently there was a security researcher, Aaron D. Vera, who discovered there were over 70,000 photographs harvested from the dating app Tinder on an online database.
Better take my pictures of me wearing a bikini out of there then, eh? Yeah, swipe left, swipe right, you know. Interesting. What are they going to do with it?
We don't know. The researcher, they don't know. Additionally, there were Tinder user IDs attached to some of these things as well. 16,000 unique Tinder user IDs. What it was used for, I don't know. It was probably assumed just for data collection.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just scraping data off the internet.
Speaking of scraping.
Which goes into this topic that definitely made headways in the news this week.
This made big news.
A secret company that might end privacy as we know it. So a very ominous title headline.
Ominous?
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Oil.
Oh, yeah. That was a good word.
So here's the background. So came into news that there's this company. It's called Clearview AI. And what they do...
And isn't one of the owners of the company a board member of Facebook, right?
Were they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So what this company does is it scours the internet and it it scans as much publicly available pictures as possible. And using context, it tries to put names to pictures. Now, this program is sold to law enforcement.
I don't think they sell it. They sell the service, right? So if law enforcement gets a picture, they don't know what it is, they can contact this company, and for a fee, the company will take that picture and search it against their database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, it's only for that, but I mean, as many people can suspect, there's nothing necessarily law enforcement specific happening here. So it could easily become a private service for private companies.
Yeah, they're saying that this is the largest database now of faces in the world with respect to faces and being able to identify people, right? And I know a lot of social media platforms where these things are being collected on, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, have said, don't do it. You're not allowed to do it, right? But I think this next news thing talks more to it, right?
Primary Canadian says, what time is the giveaway draw? The giveaway draw is at the end of the live show, so keep an eye out for that. It should be doing it in about 20 minutes, so stay tuned for that. So Twitter wasn't happy. Twitter publicly announced, hey, Clearview, stop scanning our tweets and collecting pictures.
Okay, but hold on a second here. Isn't Twitter public?
Yeah, so the whole thing with Clearview is that they clearly state it's all about public pictures.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And that's what we have to go on.
That's what
we have
they
no
say.
evidence otherwise.
Whatever.
We have no evidence otherwise. So it's all public pictures and data.
Yep.
So Twitter says it's a violation of their policy for someone to scan through Twitter public tweets and analyze the data.
Okay.
I mean, okay, Twitter.
What about Google?
I know, Google does the same thing. So if Twitter is saying this about Clearview, Google does the same thing in different ways.
Because isn't Google right now making one of the largest repository of books in the world where they're copying in clear violation of copyrights without permission?
Google archives and caches things all the time.
Yeah.
So Facebook, in a way, is kind of doing the same thing.
And don't they have
Google.
a similar product called like Google Images where you can look for faces and see what are similar and that kind of stuff too, right?
Yeah.
That's in their database.
So this is obviously what looks to be like a clear public relations strategy.
Well, for sure, because people, and rightly so, like I'm a little torqued at it as well when you think about it. But should it really surprise us?
If someone puts their picture on the internet,
I know, that's where I was going with
public
this.
availability.
That's where I was going with this, right? Like really, in today's world of education where we tell everybody that everything you post online is public, permanent, searchable, exploitable, copyable, shareable, and for sale, should it surprise us really that if you put a picture out there online that it could possibly be used by somebody else for profit? No, it happens all the time. I mean, one of the big trending things I now see taking place, it's been an issue for a while, but it's really starting to take root now, is the issues surrounding online privacy, especially with youth, right? And how things that were being done. But again, this is why we constantly say, if you don't want companies to collect information like you, then don't post it, right? But the issue is
or at least from this perspective, don't make it public.
Or wear those glasses. Remember those glasses you saw that, if somebody's trying to screen cap or trying to do facial ID.
Cameras can't see your face.
Yeah, kind of cool, right?
You're not wearing a mask. You're just shining a light on your face. So you can't pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We still have to buy that clothing.
I know.
Those
license plate numbers, right?
We still
have to do that. That'd be a cool show where we're both wearing those kites with clothes and we're just. I wonder if our camera would pick us up.
Actually, that would be a really good video.
Yeah, it would be.
We should do that.
Next one. What else we got going?
This
one's kind of a cool one.
Speaking of data analysis, right?
We kind of hear all this bad stuff about Facebook and some of the other social networks. And don't get me wrong, Facebook, one of the biggest player in the world, is they're going to have things going on, both desirable and undesirable. But here's kind of a good news story about Facebook.
Yeah, right? Kind of how using advanced tracking technology and how it turns out good for you. A story of a woman reunites with lost father after 56 years when he is suggested as a friend by Facebook.
I've heard stories like this before, right? Where people
me too.
using social media technology have been able to find long lost friends, family members. Right?
Just because Facebook popped it up in their suggested friends list.
Which was kind of
Which is very interesting. Now, to be fair, I mean, she was actively trying to find this person.
Yep.
So it obviously keyed into Facebook's algorithm. Hey, you're looking for someone like this. How about this person? It just so happened. So it's not like it was just, out of nowhere popped up. She was actively trying to find this person.
She was.
But yeah.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Interesting, right?
Very interesting.
Hey, did you see my new Apple Pencil?
Yeah, I did see that.
Pretty cool, right? It's really cool. It feels just like a pencil. I use it on my iPad now. Anyways, back on topic. Squirrel.
Really interesting story from a Blaine High School student, Ashlyn Pixley.
Ashlyn. We know her.
We have a very special relationship where, so she was honored this week at her community, and for all the community work, over 100 hours of volunteering for nonprofits, within the school, within the less fortunate in her community. Wonderful stuff. And for us in the White Hatter, Ashlyn here actually connected with the White Hatter last year.
Yep. Remember,
because a friend of theirs, well, not
actually
really a
Canadian.
friend.
Was Canadian.
Yeah, someone who they sort of knew online was in a very dangerous life circumstance.
Yep.
And they were able to help intervene by contacting us and getting some guidance, and they were essentially able to potentially save someone's life.
And the reason she was able to reach out to us because she heard us when she was in grade 6. Grade 6. And she remembered our message so well that, you know, if you're in trouble and you need help, you don't know who to connect with, you can connect with us online. And that's exactly what she did. So, I mean, this is just another good example where our presentation, people say, you know, that one-shot presentations, they have no long-term lasting effects. You are wrong, right? Here's a good example right here where, you know, depending upon what you're presenting and how you're presenting it, it can have some long-term effects, right? And here's a really good example of a young woman who remembered our presentations and became an upstander, stood up for doing what was right. She saved the life of a young Canadian up here in Canada, and as a result of that, we awarded her with the White Hatter Medallion.
Yes.
Right? Kind of cool.
So it was really awesome seeing her name pop up in this
pretty cool story.
News story.
Pretty cool story.
Yeah, so highlight
cool
for that.
This next one's of interest to me.
Uber and Lyft have officially been approved to operate in parts of BC.
You know, I've said to you for a while now that I've wanted to be. Oh, there it is, right there. Right there. I'll use my pencil. Uber in Vancouver. It kind of rhymed, right?
It rhymes, right?
I know that Candace wanted to put Uber in Vancouver. That's what she wanted to do, but but I actually said I wouldn't mind being an Uber driver.
Really?
Yeah, just, you know, an hour here, an hour there,
just in the summertime when you're not really
just kind of doing whatever, just enjoying and meeting people and talking to people. But although it's being approved, I think it doesn't happen until later this year. I think it's September or something like that.
It's still fluid. Apparently September is when it's like the official kind of launch is happening.
But there are some municipalities that still don't agree with this. Good example, Surrey. The Surrey mayor is making all kinds of noise on the news right now, saying he's not in favor of it. Still doesn't know if he'll let it in his municipality. A couple of reasons. Number one, he thinks it's going to displace taxis, right, which is big industry in the Lower Mainland, and their concern is, but we haven't really found any. You were saying research on that issue, or
there's a lot of criticism as to if Uber and Lyft and other rideshare companies should be allowed in Vancouver. People are giving up these reasons as to why, but they're not giving evidence to support those reasons.
What's interesting is when we were in San Diego, we took an Uber and we were talking to the Uber driver, and the Uber driver was actually a taxi driver. Yeah. And he said, yeah, you know what, when Uber first came in, we saw a little bit of a hit to our industry. But because Uber became so popular, so many, there just weren't as many customers anymore. And so I went back to taxi driving because I was making more money now driving a taxi than I was Uber. So he now does both to kind of complement with one another, which is kind of cool. But the other reason, and I don't disagree with this reason that the Surrey mayor says, he says, you know, the taxi industry, they have regional licenses that only allow them to operate in certain areas. Yep. Same thing here in Victoria. Good example, if you go to Victoria Airport, there's only a certain company that has a license to do that within that area. So what he is complaining about is that Uber and Lyft, they work cross-jurisdiction, like you don't need a license. So as a result of that, it's going to put taxi companies who are stuck within a region at a disadvantage.
Isn't regional licensing for taxis anti-consumer anyways?
I don't know, but you know, if that becomes an issue, then why not just remove the regional licensing issue?
Who makes money from licensing?
The province.
See, anti-consumer.
It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if the province is going to take. It'll be interesting to see how the province. I don't know what the details are. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the details come out. Like, because obviously they're going to allow Uber and Lyft to do this, but the province is going to have to make money off it somehow. So how are they going to be
Well,
licensing?
they'll make money off the revenue of taxes, obviously, like the sales tax.
I guess, if people are claiming it, right?
Yeah.
But what if you're doing an Uber and you go to pick up somebody and you're just pocketing the cash?
Well, you can't because it's all through the Uber app. So Uber, so it's all run through Uber's system. So
true.
you couldn't necessarily, unless you go, hey, give me cash.
Yeah.
And do it. But then Uber wouldn't pick it up, and then Uber might not like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's all tracked. Uber tracks
That's right.
everything.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
So I think it would be hard to kind of.
Yeah.
do
I'll admit to you, the Uber ride when we were in San Diego was really cool. Really nice car, nice person. You know, we've heard some bad things about criminal offenses like sexual assaults taking place in Uber
bad
and
things
Lyft.
with taxis.
Correct. That's where I was going with this. But I've heard the same thing within the taxi industry. In fact, when I was in policing, we investigated a number of them where taxi drivers sexually assaulted, especially women who were highly intoxicated at bar closing. But in Victoria is a good example. At bar closing in Victoria between 2 and 2:30. All these people pour out on the streets to go home. There's no public transit because they shut down at midnight, and there's not enough taxis, so you got just a whole bunch of people on the downtown city streets. I predict with Uber and Lyft that you're going to see that dissipate fairly quickly, where people are going to be able to leave the core, and as a result of that, a lot of the issues that happen at bar closing, I think, may start to dissipate a little bit, right? Because there's going to be more cars to move more people
currently
out of
it's
the
for
city.
Lower Mainland, so not Victoria.
You'll see it happen here in
I'm
Victoria.
sure it will. I'm sure it will go over very well.
Uber bikes, because the city of Victoria doesn't really like freaking cars too much.
A two-person bicycle? Hop on!
Kabuki cab. Uber Kabuki cabs.
Those are popular in Victoria.
We should start up our own company.
Oh, boy.
The White Hatter Uber pedicab company or something like that, right? Anyways, so we'll see what happens. But I predict that it's going to be throughout the entire province,
I'm
right?
sure it will.
Starts in the Lower Mainland, it'll spread elsewhere. There's no doubt about it. And how do you stop? Here's a good. If I get picked up in an Uber in Vancouver and I want to go to Abbotsford, what's to stop me from doing that, right? As an Uber driver, there's nothing, right? So it's going to spread. It'll be like the Borg.
I know people are so concerned. You hear all the time. People are concerned about taxi industries, and rightfully so.
If I was in the taxi industry, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah, but wouldn't you then just switch to being an Uber driver?
Well, that's what I said, right? Like the guy in San Diego said, like he left the taxi industry, went over to riding Uber, doing Uber, but then he found that all of a sudden, when it first started, it was very, very profitable, right? Yes. But as it became more popular, more people started driving Uber and Lyft, so there's way more competition out there, so he wasn't making as much money anymore as he was within the taxi company.
Which the competition is best for the consumer.
Yeah, I think what also scares us are the owners of these taxi companies that are making some big bucks, right? So it'll be interesting, but welcome to the on life world. I don't like calling it the digital world because it's all blended. I call it the on life world now, right? Yeah, old thinking, you now have to be able to adapt, overcome, and improvise.
Blockbuster.
Right.
Next.
Just one word, right? Blockbuster.
Interesting news story coming out of Google this week. No, not Google. Sorry. Before we get there.
Yeah.
Ontario teen calls police because his fake ID did not arrive.
Okay, hold on. Hello, police? Yes, how can we help? I just want to report that the fake ID I just ordered to allow me to get into bars and other stuff because I'm underage hasn't got to me. Really?
I just wanted to add that because I think it's funny. Obviously, the police say, issues of identity theft.
Well,
clearly.
That's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, here you are, these people are going online, and of course they're going to say, you send me your private information, I'll create this fake ID for you. Well, you've just given
Can
a
you
potential
trust that source?
Yeah, you're potentially giving an identity.
Regardless of being a fake ID or not, can you trust the source you're giving this information to?
And in today's world of computer technology, man, I could design my own fake ID and do a pretty good job at it. I'm not saying that I'd ever do that, but yeah.
Well, to be fair, to make a driver's license, you need some special tech for that.
Yeah, but here again, when I was in policing, I investigated a case where at a local high school, these two teen boys, they were in high school, they were making a pretty good chunk of change. They actually had their own computer and all this stuff that they were doing, and they were designing fake driver's license, and they looked real. Like, it was really kind of uncanny how real they looked.
Before the new licenses?
Yeah, before the new licenses, right? And stuff. And and you looked at it and you went, holy moly, like, this is pretty good, right? So, I mean, kind of funny that. But yeah, why would you ever do that. Well, I know why people are doing it, but why would you ever give your personal information to somebody you don't know? Because they could be using it for identity theft, right? So
yeah, here's your fake ID to get into a bar. Here's the rest of your life with your data stolen.
Yeah, exactly. This next article, it's funny, when you posted this on our Facebook page, there's somebody who went on there going, this is ridiculous.
Fortnite becomes official high school college sport. Now, the headline is a little misleading. It's not saying it's...
Go figure. A little clickbaity.
Headlines, right?
Yeah, headlines.
Basically, this story is really cool because another competitive gaming league company is on the market. Mm-hmm. They're called, what are they called again? They're called Player Versus. Mm-hmm. They launched in 2018. Mm-hmm. And what they're offering, and they've actually partnered with the publishers of games.
Okay.
So a lot of the other ones on the market, they just use the games,
right,
which means it could be shut down.
Right.
This company has a legal partnership with the publishers to do this. So it's more of a safe, secure platform. Mm-hmm. And basically, they're focusing on games in high school and colleges to play games in a competitive nature.
Yeah, and hello, boomers that may be watching us right now. This is just the way the world is going. I mean, they estimate that e-gaming is going to rival the NFL when it comes to money-making ventures, right? Like, well, it's unbelievable. Like, we were in Vancouver, and we were at Handsworth Secondary School, and they've now created their own competitive e-gaming team where they compete against other high schools. West Vancouver, they had their first Fortnite competition last year where schools in the West Vancouver School District were competing against each other. I mean, this is where things are going, and gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so it shouldn't surprise us. And people will go, well, how can people just sit down and watch, because one of the largest e-gaming stadiums in Canada is now in the Lower Mainland. And people are going, why would anybody want to go to a stadium and watch an e-game for 2 hours? Well, here's my question. Us boomers, we do the same thing when we're watching a basketball game or a football game on TV, right? We're sitting in front of a screen and watching people doing things, right? And well, that's what the youth are doing. And by the way, it's not just youth; it's young adults and even older adults getting involved in this now that are doing this. So it shouldn't really surprise us that this is happening. And kids, and when people think about making money off of gaming, it's not just out of being the competition or the athlete in gaming. It's about those who are designing the software to create it, the artistic. Like, look at the art. In that, right? Like, that is unbelievable, right? So there's so many different ways that the game industry is changing what it is and what entertainment is, what sports are, and things are evolving, right? They're disrupting the boomer technology, right? Is what I like to say. And really, it's no different. They're just doing it from a digital standpoint. Yeah. Right? Kind of cool.
Yeah. Kind of cool. Interesting story from Google.
This one I don't get. Like, I don't
It's an interesting story.
It's interesting, but really? Go ahead.
I mean, it's a silly story.
I'm going to drink from my cup that JDJJ1212 at Instagram made.
It's an interesting story. Basically, Google has developed this project. It's all free. There's an app, and there's a PDF download. You download a PDF. It's a piece of paper. You fold it over your phone. You glue it over. And it turns your smartphone, into a basic traditional analog phone. And the app times you, and the purpose is to see how long you can go before opening the envelope, taking out the phone, and using the smart functions. I mean,
the theory of Occam's razor says this: the most simplest answer is probably the right answer. Do you honestly believe that people are going to use this?
You know what? I think they'll use it in an ironic, silly way.
Yeah, right? For the first 5 minutes.
Couple friends, sit down, let's see how long we can keep this on our phone. It times you, it challenges, it tracks you.
How about if I do the same thing? I'll just get a piece of paper, I'll fold it over the phone, cut out the holes where the numbers are on the phone, and we can do the same thing.
Well, you can still see the screen.
No. If you get a piece of paper, I cover the screen, and then I just cut out where the numbers are on the keypad.
Life of Potterhead says, I like my screen time, though.
Right. Right?
And so does Candace.
Right? But it's all about balance.
Yeah.
And it's about how you're using your screen time, right? Are you just being a consumer, or are you being a producer or creator? Like, it's okay to just be a consumer, like Candace, where
She works on her phone.
I know, I'm joking. Right? But it's okay to be it's okay to bubblegum, to be a consumer sometimes, right? But I think it's more importantly that you're being the producer, the creator, the change maker, making positive connections, because that's what develops creativity and brain development. It's kind of, I just wrote, I said, said, you know, I'm seeing a lot of things in my Twitter feed now about people who are anti-tech on kids saying, you know what, the newest brain scanning technology out there is showing us that the brains of gaming is affecting brain development, gray matter. Duh. I mean, the whole neuroplasticity, and you know what that is, right?
I read a book, it affects my gray matter.
Exactly. So
it's no matter how it's doing it.
Exactly. So, you know, these people are running around, you know, Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, you know, screens they're changing our kids' brains. Well, it shouldn't surprise us because of this thing called neuroplasticity, right? And have a look at my Twitter feed. There's a really good article on it and what it does. And they did a thing where people who juggle for 6 weeks change the gray matter, right? You're learning a new skill, things change.
Yeah.
So that's not the question, though. The question is the change that we're seeing, what kind of effect is it having? Is it positive? Is it negative? We don't know yet. But these Chicken Little people are going, oh my God, the sky is falling. Don't let your kids watch screen time because it's changing the brains.
Amy Alligator says, my friends live on my phone. I need screen time to talk to them.
Well, and that's the issue.
Especially your friends who don't live right beside you.
Yes.
People in Ontario,
Yeah. I mean, again, it's about balance and understanding things like that. But come on, people. Like, any boomers. Okay, boomer. I'm born in 65. So I'm right on the precipice. That's a good word too, eh? Precipice.
We're still calling you a boomer.
I know. They say if you're born in 1965, you're right on that razor, you're on that precipice. We're either a boomer, and Candace is going, okay, boomer, or you're being a Generation Xer. And so Candace, okay, I'm a boomer. Okay, I'm a boomer.
Boomer is a state of mind.
But I'm a dripping boomer.
Okay.
Right? I'm a dripping boomer. The kids call me a dripping boomer. They go, yeah, you're a boomer, but you're a dripping boomer. Candace right now is sighing in my ear going, whatever.
Hey, Primary Gamer says, 1:30, giveaway time!
Woo!
Yes, it is. Giveaway time.
Hold on, show that again. I love the fireworks. What'd you just do there?
There you go.
What was that?
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, God, those are so cool. It's like that zombie apocalypse movie where they shoot the fireworks in the air and the zombies.
All right. So,
what, you don't like my story?
You say it every time.
I know.
I'm so done. Ooh.
Brandon is so done. Hey, did I talk to you about my new Apple Pen?
Yes.
And my new iPad?
It's not new anymore. You got it last year.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
So, I'm so done.
Okay, what do you want now?
It's giveaway time.
Okay, giveaway time.
So, on Instagram, we asked you all, what is your...
Oh my...
What do you recommend?
What? Brand, would you get it right? Candace is going, no.
Candace,
no.
What were the instructions this week?
No. What would you like to...
What would you recommend to watch on...
No, she said on Prime.
No, on Netflix. Don't mess me up. So, on Instagram, this week, we asked you all, what would you recommend?
Okay, boomer.
All the entries have been added into this white hat. We had about, how many responses, Candace, roughly? About 40 responses. Yeah, there's a 1 in 40 chance to win. If you win, you get some white hat wristbands.
All of them?
Not all of them.
Oh my God.
No, not.
All right. Yeah,
it's a new addition to the set.
I saw that. It looks like a potpourri of wristbands.
It's a white hat or spaghetti.
I noticed there's a couple of other things here on the set too, right? Like I'm looking right now and I see like not only we had Trolga and her kids, but there's the house hippo, there's Peppa, there's what's his name again? Domo, and then we have this guy over here, Rick. And then we have the bobblehead from
my Lego set I did.
The Lego set that Brandon just did on the Roblox. Anyways, Minecraft. Sorry. Oh, I said Roblox. Ooh, sorry. I guess we should get to this draw, eh?
Yes.
Okay, boomer.
People are waiting.
Okay.
So, 1 in 40 chance to win. We got.
Hold on.
Wow. All right. So, we got Len Oxen Davis.
Oh.
Lexon Oxen Davis.
Yeah.
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth?
Big Mouth. It's an animated series about puberty.
Oh.
And all the challenges that come with that.
That's actually a really good. That's a really good draw because Candace just said that's a really good show.
It's kind of weird. It's comedy. It's made by some very cringy comedians.
Oh.
It's kind of cringy sometimes.
No. Oh, very good. Well, congratulations. He also wins the. Doesn't he get like a big sticker too?
They'll get a large White Hatter sticker, which we only give in our YouTube giveaways.
Is that a TikTok sticker on your laptop there?
Yeah, it's a TikTok sticker.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And some small White Hatter stickers, pens, which are over there. Somewhere. And and wristbands.
Cool.
So we'll connect with you on Instagram. You can receive your winnings. Thank you everyone who entered, and we'll see you all again on the live show next week on Sunday, same time, same place.
Same channel.
Same channel, White Hatter team.
White Hatter team. Okay, Boomer. Whatever. What? Did I tell you about my iPen?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways,
all right.
Just thought I'd ask.
On that note, bye everyone. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.
See ya.
And
Uber in Vancouver. Oops.